Hi, I'm Dee and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a little tutorial on how I clean my cast iron cookware. A lot of people shy away from buying cast iron cookware because they think the cleaning process is too high maintenance for them, but I'm here to let you know it's not as hard as you may have heard. So it's very simple. First thing we're going to do is take this dirty cast iron pan off the stove. I just made a gorgeous meal and it's time to clean it. So join me in the sink. So the items that you're going to need to clean your cast iron pan are so simple. All you're going to need is some food grade oil. For me, I've tried many different types of oil when I first started cooking with cast iron, and I find that grapeseed oil works the best for me. So you're going to need some grapeseed oil. You're going to need a dedicated cleaning pad. I like this little green one with the sponge on one side and the scrubber on the other. You're going to need a paper towel, and right here on the cutting board is where I'm going to do a lot of oiling after we clean it. So I like the cutting board, the paper towel, the scrubber, and the grapeseed oil. That's it. So let's start cleaning the pan. Okay, so I put my pan into the sink and I start letting the hot water run. Just go ahead and put it all the way on hot and let it run and start doing its magic, loosening all the dirt and enough of the oils as it can. We're not going to use soap in this tutorial. No, we are not. As a matter of fact, I have never used soap on my cast iron cookware before. What I'm going to do is just continually let the hot water loosen up all the food particles on the pan. Go ahead and use your sprayer, get as much as you can off. And then I'm going to bring my scrubber in. So I have a dedicated scrubber. It only is used on the cast iron. It's a regular green scrubber. And I'm just going to scrub firmly, getting as much as I can off of the surface. And if you need to use your fingernail, gently scrub off. Now I have seen in stores where they have plastic scrubbers, kind of similar to like if you were just to use a credit card and turn it sideways. It's just a flat scrubber like that. Make sure you get the outside and the sides. All right, so once you feel of your pot and it feels like and looks like all of the food particles are off. You can see it's beating up a little bit from, still having oil on it. From here, we're going to return it back to the stove and we're going to start drying out and opening the pores of the cast iron. So we're back at the stove, and here I have it on medium heat and just simply letting the pan dry all the way out. Now if you walk away and forget about it, you're going to smell a faint smell of burning if you walk away. It's not going to do very much damage, or it's not going to do any damage at all really if you walk away from it. If you have an open flame, of course you want to be cognizant of walking away from your open flame, but since this is a flat cooktop, I'm not worried about walking away. So really, if you've ever baked, baking a cake and you start to smell any type of food that's getting done, and the moment you start smelling it is usually when it starts getting done. Same thing with this, only it's going to be a burning smell. So we're going to let this pan dry out and I'll meet you on the next step. Okay, so I'm starting to smell a faint smell of burn, so I'm going to go to the stove and use my mitt and bring the pan over here to the cutting board. turning my oven off. And that's why I like putting this cutting board down, so I can just have a safe workspace and not worry about my countertop. So I'm going to open my grapeseed oil, and I'm really just going to fold this paper towel into a 1-inch square. This is how I do this. Okay, now we're going to get a light coating on there. Be very, very careful and coat the inside a thin coat of the grapeseed oil. You should see a little bit of a sheen there. Okay, I'm going to get a little bit more and flip it over. Do the bottom and the sides. Again, be very careful. I've been doing this a little while, so I'm kind of used to the process. Now you really want to pay attention when I say that you need a thin coat, because if you get too thick of a coat, and as the cast iron cools off, it gets very gummy, and I learned that the hard way. So we don't want a gummy pan. Now when you're done, go ahead and get your handles. And our pan is seasoned. That's exactly what we just did, was season the pan. So there we have it. We put the cast iron cookware in the sink. We ran it under hot water and used a dedicated scrubber to loosen all the particles, and once it was smooth, we return it to the stove and we dry it out at medium temperature. Once the pot is dry, we bring it back to our workspace. We take a little bit of food grade oil and just thinly coat it. So while the pores of the pan are open, we're adding the seasoning or the oil back to the pan. And once it dries and the pores close, we have seasoning for our next meal. I will tell you, one of my favorite things cooking in a cast iron pan is a very simple sunny side up egg with a little bit of cracked pepper. When you have a well-seasoned pan, oh, it just tastes so good. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial on how I clean my cast iron cookware. If you use cast iron cookware and you use a different method, leave me a comment and let me know a little bit about your journey. If you have any questions that I didn't cover under this tutorial, please just let me know. I'm happy to answer. And thank you again, and we'll see you next time.